What's going on, everyone? My name is Myles K. Farrington, and I am here with my co-hosts Adam Leonard
Hi, y'all.
and Jordan Leffler.
I'm excited to be here.
All right, then, good. And just like he's excited to be here, you all should be excited to be here for episode 111 of the MONG Podcast. And this episode is entitled I typed out gems in the rough in the Twitch channel, and I just realized it's diamonds in the rough. So we're going to go ahead and say it's diamonds in the rough. I'm going to make note of that so I don't mess it up later. Anyway, beyond our constant recruiting of fresh blood, and new faces for the site, anything going on we should mention, Jordan?
Well, we do have an event going on this week.
Uh-huh.
We are going to be streaming Helldivers this week on Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You should check it out. It's going to be on this Twitch channel. It's Mong Plays. And we're going to also be giving away a month subscription to PlayStation Plus. This is just kind of a preliminary pilot to something that might happen monthly, where we play like a recent multiplayer game that's been released on PlayStation Plus. So it'll be myself, Adam, who's here. Riley will be doing it, and Lucy decided to come back to play Helldivers with us, so it should be a very entertaining experience.
Oh, that's very nice.
I believe Riley is the only one who has played it.
Well, it's
So
gonna be a lot of fun. He should take you all straight to those high level or high difficulty places because
yeah.
that was a fun experience when I did that.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing going on right now. We do have a few new contributors to the website right now. There is, and I want to make sure I get their names perfectly right.
No,
We've got.
Butcher 'em. That's what this podcast is known for.
No, I refuse. We got Michael Kremen. Michael Kremen. And Michael, I apologize if I screwed up your last name. Same with you, Amanda Rainier. And we have Joey or Joseph. His name is Joey on Facebook, and I'm going to go by that. Joey Durr. So, or Dare. I don't know. I like Dare. So we're going to go with for now.
Dare.
Well,
so welcome to the website, you three. We're expecting great things from you. So that's the biggest part of our week.
The fate of the website depends on you guys, so
basically, you're our only hope.
Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, gentlemen, what have you been playing this week? What's been in your systems and PCs and your Game Boys and your PlayStation Vitas?
Dark Souls 2, pretty much. Dark Souls 2.
How is that going?
I'm 7 or 8 bosses in now. Like I said, I can't say that I'm the best at these games. And okay, so like another example of like Adam's persistent but not good at these games, but he's persistent enough to get by. Is I discovered in Dark Souls 2 because you know a big part of Bloodborne is mining stuff. Like you know you need to mine souls or blood vials and stuff, and so you loop the same area over and over again. And I was in the process of doing that, and then I got back to the area, and then realized after a while the bad guys weren't there anymore, and I found out that Dark Souls 2, I believe in like the new version, instituted some kind of player mercy rule where to help you out if you kill the same area with a guy, you know, the same guy enough, they don't come back no more.
Oh.
And so there's been totally like I'm totally stuck on a place right now where there's like a boss, but there's a bunch of really tough guys on the way to the boss, and so I've literally spent hour after hour after hour going through the area, killing all the guys, going back through the area, killing all the guys until like the system finally like just says, okay, this guy's had enough. We're just gonna kind of give him a pass here.
Is it worth it in the end?
I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I mean, like it's kind of fun in like a very specific sort of way. It's like it's a feeling that like the fun comes from the accomplishment. I think much like Bloodborne, it's not so much this is like the most glorious thing ever, but it's like that satisfaction of getting a job done.
Well, as long as you're enjoying yourself, that's what matters.
But that's basically all I've done this week.
All right. Getting a little hyped for Dark Souls 3. Saw that trailer, I'm guessing.
I will pick it up. Like I said, I will pick it up, and I want a Bloodborne 2 as well, if we can,
I want
please.
that so bad.
I'm sure it will happen probably
Yeah.
but yes, both please.
Jordan, what you been playing?
Well, I keep dabbling into Hotline Miami too. That's
Okay.
been going well. I'm enjoying it more than I was originally. It's starting kind of to come together a little bit, like what's going on in the game. So I appreciate that. I prepared myself slightly. The Helldivers Noob Club that I've dubbed us. We realized that there was a mandatory tutorial at the beginning of it.
Yep.
So I went through that real quickly just to kind of see what it's like, and so I could kind of figure it out and get ready for Friday night. That was entertaining. The game's a lot more tongue in cheek than I than I had realized. I haven't looked at anything about it before, and so yeah, I'm excited for that. And then because Myles, I think you're the one who recommended it, I played a little bit of Frog Fractions.
That was Adam.
Oh, that was Adam?
I did as well.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, you don't really want to talk about it because you just kind of want to play it, but it surprises you.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, because you go in, like, it doesn't tell you anything about the game, so it's really stupid fun, but fun.
It was something. It was definitely something.
Yeah.
Myles is more reserved about it.
I don't know what I thought by the end of my experience. I'm not sure what I thought.
That's kind of fair because it is definitely well, if nothing else.
Yeah, I feel like if it were a TV show, I definitely would have absolutely hated it. But as a game, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd have to play it again, but I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to take a trip down that LSD fueled alleyway again.
It's a special game. Whoever created that is either brilliant or insane, and probably most likely both.
A little bit, little mixture going on there. As for what I played this week, gentlemen, we're not gonna say this week because I played it for the last hour and a half, but I was playing me some Firewatch, and that game's really fun. Well, yeah, fun's a word, I guess. Yeah, I'm.
I was going to say interesting, perhaps.
Yeah, interesting. I'm enjoying it. So it's not, when I say fun is a word, I mean like it's not you're not going to be going in there and like beating up bears with rocks or hunt down mountain lions with guns.
That's why I downloaded it.
Oh yeah, that's a shame for you.
Right, because it's like kind of an exploration game. Like my understanding is like the kind of interest comes from kind of getting wrapped up in the story.
Oh yeah, which I was definitely right before I stopped for podcast, and something happened, and I was like, oh my god, I'm scared, and then the very beginning of the game made me feel really bad. So it's a roller coaster of emotion so far. I could tell I was really into the game because at one point you get hit with something or hit by something, and like I felt like when it happened, I like actually like jerked and like closed my eyes like I gotten hit, and I was like, oh yeah, I am absolutely into this game at this point.
Yeah, no, I really like narrative-driven games. They've become a recent passion of mine, so I'm definitely ready for this game.
Yeah.
I was really, really excited for it.
Yeah. I'm really digging the characters, and I hope nobody dies. That's not a spoiler because I don't know if anybody does or doesn't. I hope nobody dies.
All right.
And I hope my suspicions are not correct. But I'm not going to explain what those are because it's time for the news from nowhere.
Wait, the what?
The what?
The news from nowhere, gentlemen. Get with the times. Get
I'm
updated.
I don't
Wait,
think
this
I
is
right.
the
That
new
sounded,
format.
Try it again.
No, this is the new format. We're the news from nowhere. Very quiet and subdued because the news from nowhere is just old. Anyway,
that's like our calling card. Jordan, you need to get the dude who plays Deckard Cain on the phone now so we can record it.
You know,
yes.
like I said,
it's gonna happen this week.
If you can get him to do it, I'm all for just playing that and not having to say it anymore.
Then I will finally do my Deckard Cain fan fiction. That will happen.
I'm reaching out to him.
We still don't need that to happen, Adam, but okay. Anyway, first piece of news is There are three pieces of news. I don't know which one I actually want to cover. So what I'm gonna do is not have any dice near me for once in a lifetime, and not being able to roll for them. Gentlemen,
All right,
one,
I'm
two,
putting
or
you in
three.
number 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Two.
So one. I don't know. Two. What?
Two.
Two. Okay, we're doing two then. We're gonna start with two, and number two is the Culling is a new game that was revealed earlier this week, and it is like The Condemned, but funny. And if you don't know what The Condemned is, it was a movie that had Stone Cold Steve Austin in it. There we go. Words. Can't use them today. Um, so pretty much, The Culling. I'm gonna have to refresh myself because I read this article Wednesday of last week, I believe. So the culling is Hunger Games, also a good comparison, with lots more blood. In the culling, you don't get voted off the island; you get chipped off it, probably in pieces, which is indicative of what we see in the trailer. If you want to go see the trailer, go check it out. It's pretty funny and tells you a good idea what the game's about. So, building on the battle royale and Hunger Game concept that is beginning to permeate the gaming world in titles like H1Z1 and Arma 3 and all those other games, the culling is a tongue-in-cheek fight to the death. You'll have time to get your bearings and gather supplies, and it's time to kill or be killed. Um, and it's developed by Xavient, I believe is how you say that. They made Lichdom Battle Mage, and the culling was designed by a small team given license to create its dream game, and the studio underwent significant layoffs and, okay, that's businessy stuff. But anyway, yeah, the culling seems interesting. Did either of you gents watch any of the trailer?
Not
Uh,
yet.
well, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what did you think of what you saw? It seems very silly.
Yeah, I mean, I like what it's drawing from.
Mhm.
I think that the dystopian like stories that it's drawing from, like the Hunger Games and Battle Royale, are like great bases. Like I think they both of those have their flaws,
Mhm.
and I think part of that is that they take themselves a little too seriously at times. So I'm hoping maybe this will make up in the areas those stories have lacked.
I kind of hope so because I love the announcer because it seems like a I don't know if I don't think it mentioned it in the story, but I believe like the point of the game is that the culling is actually like a not a TV show, but like a game show kind of thing going on, which is why I compared it to Condemned for anyone who hadn't seen it, which is actually a good movie, even though it stars Stone Cold Steve Austin. I enjoyed it anyway. Um, so yeah, it's actually like a game. So of course, throughout the whole trailer, you have this announcer who's doing this hilarious voice and narrating as people die. And I think one of my favorite quotes is at the end when he asks, "So, gamer, what are you gonna be? Are you gonna be a survivor? Or are you gonna die like that guy?" And you see this guy who's standing there, who I guess everyone assumes is probably their character, and then a chainsaw just comes through him and cuts him, and because and then the narrator's just like, "Yeah, that guy's dead. He is definitely dead. He is so dead." And I admit I had a very good chuckle off of that.
I just imagine you crying, like that's how hard you're laughing.
I laugh until crying very frequently, actually. It's like not hard to get me going really badly. But anyway, does this sound like something you would like to give a try? Because I know it's I don't know how the controls are going to be differing from like H1Z1 and
Right.
all those other ones, but do you think you would like to give this version of Battle Royale a go?
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, I have always been intrigued by like games like H1Z1 and DayZ. Just like kind of the survival aspect and the aspect of there's always someone who wants to screw you over.
Yeah.
Like it sucks. Like I played a little bit of DayZ, but like it sucks. It sucks when it happens, but it's also a really interesting way to play a game.
All right.
A multiplayer game at least. So I'm all for that.
Yeah, yeah. Adam, you gonna be the last survivor, man?
It sounds like a cool idea. I'm definitely. It sounds like I need to watch this trailer when we're done. Overall tone sounds like. Did either of you guys play any of the latter Saints Row games?
I think I
No,
played
but I'm
three.
familiar with them.
Maybe.
Yeah, there was kind of like this kind of battle arena kind of side game you could do that had a tone that was very similar to this. So it sounds interesting.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, and looking at the the images. I think it also kind of seems like it will just be battle royale mixed with like Sunset Overdrive, which
Hmm.
I'm sure that makes me happy. I'm sure that'll make a lot of people happy. I'm talking in terms of visuals. I don't mean you're gonna be like grinding on rails while you're chainsawing people's heads off. People.
That could be
So
cool though.
that would be hilarious, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Uh, but yeah. So Adam, what's your first story, buddy?
uh, Myles has a PC copy of Firewatch, and he might very well be happy that he does because it's been announced that you can buy physical copies of your in-game Firewatch photos on PC. The PC version of Firewatch offers the opportunity to purchase physical copies of your in-game photographs. Techno Buffalo shared a selection of photos taken on the in-game disposable camera you found, a purchasable option available only when you've completed the game. The photographs even ship with the branding of the fake in-game photographic company Photodome. Publisher Panic Inc. co-founder Cable Sasser confirmed to Eurogamer that the service would cost around $10 or $15, and the price will remain roughly the same wherever you are in the world. To keep the product affordable, we're shipping first-class mail, Sasser said. The good news is it lets us hit $15. The bad news, it could take up to a month for first-class mail to make it across the so-called pond. In a different statement to VG2 24/7, a representative said that the service is currently only available on PC because they're running it themselves via network service on their own servers. We've actually been investigating it for the future, but have nothing to announce. They add, keep your eye on Twitter, etc., if and when we have anything to say.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
really neat.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I haven't played any of the game yet, but I feel like Miles, you might be able to speak to this a little bit more. But I feel like that's a really interesting way of ingraining you into, or like kind of submersing you into what's going on in the game.
Um, it could be honestly. Like, I just think it's a cool idea simply because like the game is like it has its own aesthetic. It's not like super realistic, but it's very gorgeous, and you can see it because they like so far. I think I've done something that I've not done in most games where I've played at like every point of the day. Um, so like I've been playing and there's been visuals for like you know sunrise, sunset, midday, etc., and it all looks like drastically different because the colors. You're in a forest, etc.
Mm,
So you can actually take some beautiful pictures if you actually like are paying attention and meaning to, which I don't normally, but I could see this being something that like they could actually make a good chunk of change off of. Like if somebody wanted to make Firewatch postcards and send them off, or if they wanted to just if it's option, and I actually would be intrigued by this, if it's option to like blow up the picture you took, so it's like poster size, like that or something, that would
mm,
be really cool.
cool.
It sounds like a really neat idea, especially if, from what it sounds like you're saying, Miles, is this is definitely a game that's going to kind of emotionally embed itself into you. And
Hmm.
it seems like that would be a really cool way to kind of keep those memories if you were able to like keep those pictures that you have that you essentially took, and so you're gonna have your own associated memory with.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, I am jealous of the PC versions now.
Now, what they need to do is go back and put this in Pokemon Snap.
Hmm.
They need to just come back with Pokemon Snap. That's what they need to do.
They also need to do that. There are so many more Pokemon that you have to take pictures of now. There you go.
It makes me cry sometimes when I think about how the Wii U, its sun is setting, and there was never a Pokemon Snap game coming out for it.
Yeah, it was. No matter how many bad things people say about the Wii U and its horrible gamepad, it was like the perfect system for Pokemon Snap.
They're getting Pokken Tournament. That's kind of like Pokemon Snap Your Limbs.
I see what you did there, and I respect that you went for it.
Yeah,
I tried.
it was admirable, Adam. It was
I
really
tried. I tried to put a spin on that.
You did, and I, like I said, I respect that you went for it. Uh, but yeah, we should talk about Pokken Tournament sometime. I want to play that, even though I don't have the console for it. But
Speaking of fantasy games that have fallen by the wayside, um, apparently the Baldur's Gate studio is getting a new creative director. And interestingly enough, it's someone who has worked on Baldur's Gate in the past. Former BioWare writer David Gaider has announced today that he has joined Beamdog as the company's new creative director. Now, if people don't realize, as a couple weeks ago, I think, that David Gaider had left BioWare after 17 years of working with the developer. It says during his time with BioWare, Gaider had writing credits on many titles, including Baldur's Gate 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and the Dragon Age series. An announcement on Beamdog's blog, the company states that Gaider was to be brought on as senior writer, but later upgraded the role to creative director. Beamdog worked on the enhanced editions of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, as well as Icewind Dale. The studio's current project is an expansion for Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition called Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear. Have either of you guys played Baldur's Gate?
I have not played Baldur's Gate, though. Maybe you can clarify for me. Is Neverwinter Nights technically considered a Baldur's Gate game, or is that an evolution thereof?
I think it was more of an evolution.
Okay, because I've played Neverwinter Nights.
I actually personally haven't played Baldur's Gate. It's on my list of things to play, like high up there. I really want to play it at some point. But I'm a fan of David Gaider, and I'm a major Dragon Age fan. He wrote some of the greatest characters in that series. So I was a little heartbroken when he left, but I appreciate that he's going back to something that is near and dear to him, seemingly.
So they're creating an expansion for like kind of an ancient game. Am I understanding that correctly?
You are understanding that correctly.
Huh. Okay.
They did, like I said, it's an enhanced edition, so they're coming. Like it was kind of a retouching of the original game, but it's popular enough where. Myles, what's going on?
I'm just looking at images of the enhanced edition.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's not pretty. Like it's an old game. It's a really old game. But it is known as one of the best games, the game stories of all time. So I think the second one is Baldur's Gate 2. Yeah, I really want to play it at some point. I want to play it even more now that I know that David Gaider is going to be working on the expansion for it.
Yeah, I've never had time with the game, but I've always heard very good things. Although it suffers from it's too old for me at this point
Sure.
conundrum. Like I can't read comic books that are too old. And I can't play video games that are too old because I don't want to look at them.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm sure it's just like slipping on an old shoe or something. I don't know how to properly phrase that. I don't know if there's like a phrase for that, but he's probably just right at home. He's just like, you know what? I'm good here. This is nice. This is comfy.
Yeah.
But gents, do you know what else is comfy? I don't know either. That was a horrible segue. That wasn't.
What were you
ever
going
work.
with that? What was that even supposed to do?
I guess I could have said, what's her name? Faith's like footy shoes that she uses when she's running would be comfy. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't even want to go over that story.
I hope so. Maybe they are. Let's just say they are.
I mean, yeah, I would hope she's like parkouring in comfortable shoes. Otherwise, that sounds awful. And just to keep throwing our viewers off, I'm not actually going to talk about that story. I'm going to talk about Overwatch. So the Overwatch closed beta has returned on the 9th, is what I have in the doc. But of course, we know that is today. It's back, and they still didn't give me access. We're just going to take a moment there.
It's going to be okay, Myles. We're going to get through this together.
I want to play that game so bad. But yeah. So the beta has returned with new features, which is really weird to say that a beta is coming back with new features. I don't know. It seems weird to me, but I'm not going to complain. So pretty much they've come in with an all new progression system, which what that means is that you now level, so you get experience at the end of games. Pretty straightforward multiplayer affair. There's 2 new maps, including a new game mode. I'm not sure what the game mode actually is because I saw somebody playing it and I did not understand what was happening. I just was like, okay, they're killing people. I'm used to that. Several hero balances have been updated, which an example of one would be Bastion no longer has a shield, is something I heard. I believe that means when he turns into his turret, so he's not as broken as he used to be, although he's still really good. In a variety of private game updates, including full AI matches. So I heard one of my friends commenting that there's so much you can do with servers now. So, the PC players, that probably makes a lot of sense. Set up your own private games and servers or whatever. I want to talk about that progression system because it is awesome that when you level up, you get a You get a loot box essentially. Imagine a crate from like CS:GO or something. And you get to
Mm.
crack it open. It could have like they've added so much customization to the characters. Like there's outfits, there's like voice packs, there are oh yeah, there's money so you can buy outfits that you like, and you can crack the money from the crates, or if you get like multiples of the same suit or whatever, you can destroy it and get money from it. Um, there was something else I saw earlier, but yeah, if you look at the like customization screen for characters now, it's just like got so many options, and all of the outfits look so awesome because it's from the people at Blizzard, and I don't think I've ever seen them drop the ball on a character design personally. So yeah. Did either of you gents get in this? Do I need to like come through some computer screens and like
No, no,
grab
no,
my
no.
shake it?
This is something that I've had my eye on as well. It's I mean, if you put multiplayer role based game in front of my face, and I'm gonna select a support class and be necessary to the party. Like
Mm,
that's just kind of how I am. I always like playing support, no matter what role based game I'm playing. So yeah, this is if I'm able to do that, yes, I'm on board.
nice, nice. Adam, has it perked your interest any?
Uh, I wouldn't say that. I haven't actually had a chance to check it out yet. It sounds like you're very passionate about it, so maybe I should give it a look. So is it? It's in beta right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well maybe I need to check it out sometime. Maybe like
Yeah.
when you're playing, I should come on and play with you.
I wish I could play, but Blizzard has not deemed me popular enough to give me a access to it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, right. You meant to that. Sorry,
yeah,
but yeah, maybe when I have the opportunity, I will check it out.
yeah. I hope there's an open beta because I know one of my friends like doesn't want to buy it unless he's tried it out, and I'm like, I need people to play this with because I really want to play this. But
Do we know when the game's coming out yet?
the game is coming out on I don't know.
Okay.
So this is like a full retail like $60 game.
It will be once it comes out. Yeah.
Okay, and it's purely multiplayer.
I believe so, but don't quote me
Okay,
on that.
all
Uh,
right.
it is expected to release on or before 6/21/2016.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they announced the Origins edition for all the extra stuff you get in junk. Um, yeah, I really hope this is good because I've been missing a like team-based fun shooter, arena shooter as I call them, and this is definitely going to be the one that scratches that itch if it comes out and then it's actually good, and it looks like it's going to be good because a lot of people enjoy the beta. So,
Cool.
but you know what else people are waiting for to come out?
Yeah, Overwatch sounds like a really solid game. And another bit of news about another solid game, Metal Gear Solid 5 is getting an online expansion. Uh, Konami has officially announced that the upcoming DLC campaign for Metal Gear Online will be called Cloaked in Silence. We first caught wind of the expansion a couple weeks ago when we discovered Quiet will be added as a playable character. She can take out targets from a distance with her sniper rifle, plus she can move extremely quickly and use her unique jumping abilities to scale high places, which would normally require a ladder. Quiet has also a temporary cloak she can use while sprinting, which boosts her movement speed. 3 new maps have been announced. Too. Coral Complex is a mother base environment mixing open areas and hiding opportunities. Rust Palace is set in Afghanistan and is a large multi-level building with little cover. Azure Mount is an outdoor plain in Africa with just a handful of buildings providing hiding places. The Cloaked in Silence expansion pack will cost $4, and there are also several appeal packs for $2, which add special poses to your character. Releasing at the same time in the expansion is some free DLC, which adds a new competitive mission called Sabotage to Metal Gear Online, which officially launched on PC last month. Attackers must destroy or Fulton an enemy missile before the round expires, but to access the missile, attackers must first hack into terminals to deactivate the electromagnetic barrier that is protecting it, says the description. Once terminals are hacked and the EM barrier is deactivated, defenders can choose to reactivate the barrier or protect the missile. Cloaked in Silence is due for release in March, but we don't have an exact release date yet.
Yeah,
That's
Konami, go to hell.
You don't want to play as Quiet?
I I've enjoyed my time with Metal Gear Online. I also have more or less vowed not to spend another cent on that game now.
Okay, that's fair. Principles.
Uh,
I don't know. I also playing as quiet doesn't really attract me all that much. Nor does playing more modes on Metal Gear Online.
well, all right then. I don't plan on playing Metal Gear 5. Just because I don't care at this point. But I, I don't like Konami either. But I can commend them for making their stuff cheap because that's always good. I don't know if they're trying to like pander to everyone that hates them now or not, but if they are, I mean, someone's gonna be won over by the $4 to $2 to $4 DLC and the free stuff. So good on you for once, Konami. Even though you're gonna mess it up in the next month. So Adam is just gonna make you jump back on MGS5 for a little bit.
No, I'm not a huge online person. I mean, the quiet thing is kind of cool, but I mean, this is kind of more or less just a lot like some of the stuff they released for Batman. Just kind of like sounds like more like a challenge map type of thing.
Hmm.
I might have perked my interest more if he actually came up with like a true expansion to the story, but that's not the case.
No, no.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Adam. I may have been tempted if they'd come out with some sort of story DLC or like main campaign DLC, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
And I probably still wouldn't have bought it.
Well, all right then. I guess quiet is gone quiet for the last time. By the way, I heard like what happens in that game. That's sad. That's sad. It makes me
A little
sad.
bit.
Uh,
Not that any of the Metal Gear Solid games are happy games.
I was happy when Snake was still alive at the end of 4. Well, alive? I don't know, that hour-long movie. That movie at the end of that game, I was just like, I don't quite know what happened. Is he dead or is he alive? You're
No,
not.
he survived.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure because I was just like, I. It's been an hour since I last actually did anything, and I don't understand anything that's been in front of my face since.
Yep.
But yeah, hey, Snake lived, and the kid didn't die. Sonny, yay! I don't like kids in real life, but I like video game kids because they're like not nearly as bad. So I don't like seeing them get hurt. All right, so not that I like seeing kids in real life get hurt, unless they're like getting a ball thrown at them because that's hilarious.
Myles just likes to hurt children, is basically what
don't
he's saying.
don't say that. Someone's actually gonna take you seriously. Don't say that. I don't like hurting children. That's
That's
really
going to be
weird.
his new nickname on this podcast, Myles Child Herder Farrington.
I will end this podcast. Well,
I will
I will
turn this podcast around.
I will turn off my OBS and end my tenure with the podcast. There you go. But anyway, let's move on to Jordan's second story.
So, I don't know if you guys caught this over the weekend, but apparently, someone on YouTube, their name is Crowbcat or Crowbcat, decided to see what would happen in Portal 2 if they smashed two portals together. Okay.
Okay.
I encourage anyone who hasn't seen it yet to look up the video. The video is called Crushed Between Two Portals Experiment. I will post it in the Twitch chat right now. But
sounds like a horrible idea.
There's this is essentially what the Polygon post reads. This is by Owen S. Good. The YouTuber, by my understanding, is transiting between 2 points that have no distance between them. Croby Katz notes that in Portal 2, one can project portals onto moving surfaces. The trick was replicated in this experiment by a console command creating this netherworld that the PC struggles to render, but damn does it make an honest effort. It all comes out looking like the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey sans orbital fetus. YouTube comments on this motherfucker are heavy. Quote, of course you die, that's pretty obvious. Question is, where would you be when you die? Since theoretically there's no space between portals, answer is pretty fucked up as we see. quote, throw a rock into a lake, a wave around the rock will appear. Now throw a second rock. It also causes a wave which will collide with the other wave. If you have two waves that are exactly the same colliding, there will be a point where both waves will disappear for a very, very short time. Another quote says, I don't think it would be your body necessarily that's squishing you. It would be the immense amount of pressure building up on all sides of you exponentially. The heat alone would destroy your body. I imagine it would be similar to warping yourself past the event horizon of a black hole. That's basically the end of the article. Like I said, you don't really get what's going on in this video unless you actually watch it, and even then you don't really understand. But it's basically the computers trying to render the main character existing infinitely, which is really cool if you think about it, and also really cool if you think about how a video game is acting as a scientific experiment. If you read any of the comments on the YouTube video, like there's some really interesting discussions going on. So I thought it was fun. I like space. I like physics. I like video games. They're all in one place.
I'm watching the video and I'm just impressed that the game just didn't crash immediately.
I know.
Because this definitely seems like something that should cause a game to crash immediately. So all that stuff that Jordan said, you should go watch the video if you want to see what it looks like to see a computer that's probably about to die.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it is like going through its death throes.
Adam, you got any thoughts on that, buddy?
It sounds intense. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
That was a thing. I just watched all of it. That was a thing that I have seen now.
Go watch it. Croby Cat and Crushed Between Two Portals experiment.
That was a thing. So, gentlemen, I clearly have nothing else to say about that story because
it wasn't so much a discussion point as just, hey, look at this cool thing Jordan found.
I really feel like the computer should have died, or at least the program should have shut down. But
yeah.
Clearly, the gents over at Valve knew how to. I wonder if they planned for this. They probably planned for this.
I don't know. I mean, like that was kind of something that I was thinking about. Is like they see. I don't know. Would that be part of a test? Like, would they test that? I don't know if they would do that.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah,
okay, I'm actually watching it now. It
looks like it looks like it just shut down, right?
Yeah, it looks like the computer just dosed acid.
It just looks like the computer should be like, I don't know how to handle this. I'm just gonna go ahead and shut this program down because you don't know how to handle this, and this is crazy. Just go away, user. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the thought from nowhere. I still want to go back to playing Firewatch. But anyway, the thought from nowhere is brought to us this week by one Adam Leonard, and it is, what is the most underrated game? We have done overrated game before. I don't remember what our answers were. I'm pretty sure mine was probably Assassin's Creed and something else. But
it's an overrated episode. Don't worry about it.
None of our episodes are overrated. But anyway, so Adam, since you came up with this idea, and I have no answer, and I'm not sure if Jordan does, what is your opinion that is the most underrated game? Oh, I said Zelda and Assassin's Creed. That was it.
And I said God of War, I think.
Yep.
I still like am having kind of like deja vu here because I could have swore we talked about this because I think I talked about Valiant Hearts once being completely underrated. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to swerve in a different direction because I think I've already talked about that. A game that I think is underrated in so much as it never got a duly deserved follow-up would probably be the game Jade Empire.
True.
Jade Empire I reviewed well, but you know it's sadly a BioWare product that only got one game, no sequels, and it probably deserved better than that, and probably deserved to be fleshed out more. For those of you who don't know what it is, Jade Empire is basically a role-playing game that's set in a fictional but generally kind of like ancient Asia type location, and focuses on like martial arts and kind of martial art type weapons. It was a really neat idea, and it was like very wildly different than other things BioWare has done.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think I would really, really like them to take another trip there because I think that was a really cool game.
And you're strictly saying it's underrated because it didn't get a sequel, correct? Because
Yeah, I would
okay,
say yeah. I think it didn't get a sequel, and I kind of feel like it's easily lost in the shuffle of BioWare games. When people talk about BioWare, they generally either talk Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic, or Dragon Age, and so it's sometimes
hmm,
easy to forget that game ever existed.
all right,
But and so in that aspect, I think it's underrated in the fact that it's kind of got lost among its peers and probably deserves to have some more focus put on it.
I can understand that. I guess yeah. In the recent years, it's definitely been all Dragon Age and Mass Effect, and I feel like normally, like if I'm looking at a top 10 list though for Bioware, someone's like, and let's not forget the middle child. I don't know when that game came
Mm,
out. Yeah, I guess it is kind of the middle child, but Jade
yeah,
Empire is always slid in there.
It usually gets some respect, but I think Adam's right that it's usually ignored in the Mass Effect or in the BioWare library.
Yeah,
Um, there are other big heavy hitters that definitely drew a larger audience than Jade Empire did,
it's true.
but it
yeah.
was nonetheless a very good game.
Yeah,
It's hard when you've got like a studio that basically doesn't really make bad games. You know, like because it's easy for a great game to get lost simply because it's compared to so many great games.
Yeah,
true, true. I can agree to that. Jordan, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. What's your answer?
I do have an answer actually.
Oh,
Yeah. So this one is one that probably, I don't think it reviewed well or had a large audience, but it was something that I really liked. Like, and usually when I was thinking about my answer for this, I was like, well, I guess I play mostly pretty mainstream games.
Hmm.
But this one was one that I really liked that most people didn't. Um, it was the Prince of Persia reboot.
ah,
So there was the Prince of Persia reboot, which wasn't a side-scrolling game; it was a Sands of Time series.
Right. Okay.
And then after that, they came out with it was just called Prince of Persia.
yeah.
It was like the cell shaded version where he's got like the claw and like he does wall running with the claw, and
Right.
there's a woman who follows him around, who like is like magic or something like that. I don't
Mm,
remember her name or anything. It's been a really long time since I played the game, but it had really nice environments. Had fun characters. It was a fun Prince of Persia game, not quite as dark as the Sands of Time series gets. Um, and yeah, I think it was a game that was kind of written off by Ubisoft towards the end. Like they did that, and then shortly after came out with Assassin's Creed and started doing that series, and that was kind of their adventure sword swashbuckling series. Um, but yeah, I really liked it. I also really liked the death mechanic. Like the main character never died. Like no matter what you did
mm,
in the game, you couldn't die.
Hmm.
Um, there was the companion character, the woman who was like magical. She would, if you fell off a ledge, she would dip over the ledge and pull you back up. If you were killed in combat, like she would create a shield or like pull you back to safety or something like that. So it kind of created this hero dynamic that made you feel like instead of breaking the fourth wall every time you died, like game over screen, and having to continue from that, you just continued the story and continued to live and continued to fight.
yeah. That was I thought that was an interesting mechanic. I understood why people didn't like it, but I thought it was interesting. Like I think I played the demo for the game, wasn't too thrilled, but I'm not that big of a platformer. But yeah, I, it's another good pick.
Sunset Overdrive is kind of similar to where like you can die, but like upon dying, you just basically instantly resurrect.
Yeah.
So, and that's definitely kind of an interesting concept to kind of toy with in a game is to make a game where death is more or less inconsequential.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, it adds a certain level of ease and enjoyment to the game that I think probably wouldn't be there otherwise. So, for particular games, I think it can work.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I suppose my pick. Uh, I'm just gonna say a game that I haven't really mentioned on the podcast before. We haven't had anyone ever write in to thank me for mentioning it or say that they connected with me for mentioning it. Simply because this game is so far off the beaten path that no one's really ever talked about it, especially not on this podcast before. Gotcha Force. Just gonna go ahead and say that I I want to play another Gotcha Force. um,
You
honestly,
have brought this game up before. I do remember hearing about this one.
oh yeah, I know. I was being completely sarcastic. Someone wrote in back when Courtney and Lou were still here to and they wrote a fairly long message to me saying like they really connected with me at that moment because they were like they also love that game. I was like, oh, my heart, it grew like one size larger that day. But yeah, Goucha Force, for those of you who don't know, is probably where my rooted love of team arena fighting games came from, which is what I equate Overwatch to. Um, you play it as little toys, or well, little as in they were toys, so the battlefields you were on were like places that would be normal to us, but they were huge for the toys. So one of them was a half pipe area of a skate park. There was a kid's bedroom. There was a playground and everything. So you're running around as this super powerful ninja robot that is also not taller than a stair. So it was just a really fun game for me, and just running around in that 3D plane in a third person view, just using my abilities and such, and throwing kunai, or in one character's case, he had a giant shuriken on his back, and he just threw himself essentially, he just go parallel
Huh.
with the ground and spin at people. I made a whole team out of those once because that move seeked, so I would just I my friends hated that team. I'll just say that. They were dragons. They were robots. There was one jelly thing that I never understood how to use, but it had a slow field as its ultimate. It was it looked like a diver outfit, except for it was jelly inside of it. It just swam around through the air. It was I. I think it was just the big mixture of so many different character designs, even though they got a little lazy at a certain point. But there were so many different characters, so many different abilities, and just the fun of just running around and battling and shooting and cutting with swords and stuff. There were different teams. There was a heroes team, there was the ninjas, there was the dragons, there were a bunch of different things. It was almost like Pokemon, but just you played it differently. And if they made Pokemon like that, I would be very happy. But yeah, it was just it was a game that really I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun times with it. I remember it's one of the few games that I actively went back and played again. I beat it when I was younger, and then I saw it on the shelves, and I was just I still have a GameCube, so I just bought it again and beat it in one night, one sitting, and it's just I don't know how it would hold up now, especially not the story because the story was awful. The story was atrocious, but the gameplay I would probably still enjoy. So yeah, that's my underrated game. If you
Gotcha Force.
if you have a GameCube and you see Gotcha Force on the shelves, I don't know how you would do that at this point in time, but if you see it on the shelves, you should pick it up. Also, I kind of wonder how much that game's worth at this point.
Um, Now that we got into talking about it a little bit, I do remember there was one that I thought of immediately after Adam brought this up um, last week.
Whew.
Uh, did you guys ever play Heavenly Sword?
I
Yeah,
played the
yeah, yeah,
demo.
yeah.
Sorry, what did you say, Mouse?
I said
Demo.
yeah. Oh,
It was. I really liked that game a lot. If trophies had been out by the time that game was out, I would definitely have the platinum. I, got all of, the gold coins on hard mode, and just really cared about the characters and really cared about the environment. I mean, it's just there were a lot of things good with that game. And sadly, they didn't continue with it, which they definitely could have if it had done better. Um, I don't know. It seemed like it was just kind of a game that came out at the wrong time, maybe, because there was nothing really wrong with it as far as I could tell. Adam, you played it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. It was, it was cool from what I played. I didn't play a ton of it. I just borrowed it from a friend for a couple days. But
Sure. Yeah, I mean it was a combo based fighting adventure game that had really good um, cinematics, really good art direction, and characters, and I'm glad to see it sort of maybe like spiritually continuing with Hellblade, um,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
we'll see.
Hmm. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I feel like Hellblade has a very different kind of thing going on than Heavenly Sword did.
Well, I mean, I think the argument for it is like just kind of the similarity in the names, like they're kind of a foil for each other, Heavenly Sword and Hellblade.
It's true.
It seems like the art direction is similar. Um,
Are they being made by
so
the same people?
I believe it's the same developer, yeah.
Okay, if that's the case, I take back what I said. That could very well be a thing.
um, yeah, okay, I'll continue to dogpile because I had one that actually came up while we were talking. And I think I've mentioned it once before, and only once. But I'll show Miles some former occupation love. I think the MMORPG, The Secret World, I think is underrated. I thought it was a really, it was like a one of a kind MMORPG. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, because there's not really any horror MMORPGs, and I thought that it had a completely original, kind of combat system to it. And most of all, I just think that the story and the lore of the world was like endlessly fascinating, and there was all kinds of cool stuff. There were like missions that you could only complete by having to go out on the internet and doing like research to find like information actually out on the web and stuff. I thought it was a really unique and original MMORPG that really managed to succeed in what it was trying to do, and I think maybe it deserved a little bit more love.
Yeah, yeah. I could I can agree with that as well. And I don't say this because I used to work for them, and I'm trying to get another job there. But that was a very interesting game. I admit I didn't enjoy it as much as I probably could have if I had maybe played it with people, but it was interesting, very interesting.
Hmm.
I have not seen as many undead undead mermaid nipples as I did while playing that game.
I remember
Um,
my favorite part was a haunted amusement park. I thought that was really creepy and such.
there's a lot of creepy parts, or just like parts where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna die if I go in there, so I don't want to go in there. I remember the first time I like went down the hill in the zombie area. I'm sure like no one else knows what I'm talking about, but Adam, you probably know what I'm talking about. Uh, that city that was beset by zombies, and there was like that massive hill that went down the middle of it. You remember?
I I know. I remember the city.
Yeah.
What was at the bottom of the hill?
At the time where I was playing it, which was when it was still in beta, keep in mind, or no, it had just come out, so I don't know if they've changed it. But it led from the zombie area into like the fish people area, or they were like Lovecraftian horrors, really. And
Hmm.
I remember going down there, and then like once I like got in range where I could actually see, there's just this massive monster down there. When I say massive, he was like taller than the buildings were, and
Yeah, I vaguely remember
yeah,
this.
like he wasn't hard to kill, but just that moment of oh, just
I
I
would
don't want to go
say
down there.
I would say Secret World Jordan Chair is not isn't like the same ballpark aesthetic wise as like Bloodborne.
Okay,
It is really kind of focused on like really kind of like unnatural horrors and just,
Mm,
yeah, it's cool.
cool.
yeah, yeah. And just to rewind a little bit back to my Gotcha Force comment, if
Mm.
you do see it on on the shelves, like if you're at GameStop or something, you should definitely pick it up, and then you should mail it to me, because I'll go ahead and say that. Um, well, it's like $8.99 to $9.99 at GameStop, and everywhere else it is like $150 to $200.
Wow.
So yeah, if you see it, pick it up and send it to your boy Myles,
You
aka
mean
Furious Milk.
that's how much GameStop is buying it for? That's what you mean?
No, no, that's how much they're selling it for. Yeah. I'm sure they'll buy it for like 2 cents. Wait,
Right.
no, they can go down to a cent. I had someone trade in something to me one time, and it was worth a cent. And I was like, "Are you sure you want to trade this in?" And they're like, "Eh." I'm like, all right, I guess you don't need to be playing Madden 1989. Um,
I do want to make a quick correction.
Mhm.
Apparently, Hellblade and Heavenly Sword, they are Ninja Theory, by the way, is trying to make clear are completely unrelated.
Okay.
All right.
But they will not deny that if you liked Heavenly Sword, you will probably like Hellblade.
Cool.
I will give you that, like, in terms of visuals, yeah, she looks a lot like, not Najiko.
It was Kai.
Was it that simple?
Yeah, her name. It was Nariko was
Naruto.
the
There we
main
go.
character, but Kai was her adopted sister, and she looks a lot like Kai.
Does she? Okay, I'm completely remembering the girl from Hellblade. Absolutely wrong.
All right.
But yeah, I know they were talking like they're trying to go into the theme of like not like mental disturbances. Like I think I don't know if it's dementia or something else they're trying to explore. But I think it's dementia. And I was like, now don't get me wrong, I didn't play Heavenly Sword, but I don't know if Heavenly Sword is talking about mental disease. But I'm interested still in Hellblade a little bit.
So
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so when you were talking about Gotcha Force, that actually kind of inadvertently unlocked like a young Adam video game memory.
Mhm.
And I just feeling compelled to share. Are either of you guys familiar with like the TV show like Ramna One Half?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was like a kid and had no idea what the hell that was, and I should mention that I lived in a place called Bend, Oregon, which is like was at the time like a really well, I think I brought it up before, but Bend was a tiny, tiny place when I first grew up there. It was like we didn't have a Walmart till I was like in like high school or middle school, so we were tiny. And I remember our local video store that rented video games. Somehow, like as small as we were, somehow got like Ramna One Half the fighting game in for SNES. And young Adam decided to rent this, not knowing what it was. And as somebody who knew nothing about the show, that was like the most confusing game ever because there was like dudes and then like chick versions of dudes and like a panda bear and just like all manner of just like we had then like another dude who was like a dude but also was a panda bear and it was the most confusing thing I think I've ever seen.
You can't forget the pig, man.
The pig, I don't think you could actually fight as a pig.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I actually, for a time, I was really trying to like read all of that series, and then
Hmm.
I hit my like great point where I just didn't care about manga anymore. But uh, I know what you mean. Yeah, Inuyasha had a fighting game for PlayStation One. I definitely read that or played that for quite a long time
Hmm.
until my friend borrowed it for a day and lost it for 2 years. Um, but yeah, yeah. And I just found a nifty site called Price Charting, and it charts the price that Gotcha Force has had, and it's just been it has like a few spikes, but it's just been climbing steadily. I need to get my hands back on that before it's like $500. Anyway, gents, I believe it's time to call it quits for the night. It's been fun, and we've talked about a lot of things, and we got you forced. And thank you for the host, whoever just hosted us, even though we're just about to end. Um, so, as per usual, our schedule is to record on Tuesday nights, and normally it's up by Wednesday morning because it's Wednesday morning when I start editing it. So yeah, you can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com. Do you check that regularly, Jordan?
I do.
Okay, all right. I for like the last few podcasts, at the end of the night when I'm like laying down, I'm just like, what if we have like 50,000 people suggesting stuff for
We
Thought
don't.
from Nowhere? So now I know for sure.
We're not that popular,
I know.
but no.
But yeah, if you want to suggest thoughts for a Thought from Nowhere, since I have none ever because I don't come up with conversation topics, I just talk about them. And those two are probably running out of things. I don't know. I'm not saying they are. I'm just thinking. I don't know. If you have suggestions and you want to get your name out on the show, because we will mention who exactly told us, and if you're like under what?
Or not if you don't want us to.
Yeah,
You know,
or
that's
we
the thing.
cannot. Is yeah, like if you're like under witness protection or something, and you don't want Joe Blow out there knowing that Steve McManson suggested this topic, then we won't say it. Just make sure
Or
we
not
give us a
necessarily
heads
those
up.
names. It might be some other names too.
I hope those two don't have an issue because Joe Blow is kind of a cool guy, and Steve McManson, he's a dangerous fellow, even though I said that reverse. Anyway, yeah. So if you have suggestions or anything, I'll say it again since I've been rambling. Contact.mong@gmail.com. Send in your suggestions, questions, or hey, if you just have like a nice note for us, we'd love that. We're nice people too. We like nice notes. Um, on top of that, you can find our Mong account at mong.com. Dot is spelled out, and that's where you can see when we post all our new stories, see when we post video, see when we're going live with this thing here at the Twitch channels. You can also find us on YouTube at Mong Network and Middle of Nowhere Gaming Plays. Mong Network is My Camera's Dead, where all of our all of our podcasts and everything else go up. Speaking of that, it's also where our other podcast, Friendly Neighborhood Fanboys goes up.
Fat boys.
Fangoys, where that goes up, and as well as Jordan. What's the other one that I'm forgetting?
Flashback Arcade.
Flashback Arcade goes up, and also I assume where PlayStation Plus You and Me. I hope I got that name right. Is going to be going up.
Yes, we will be posting that as well.
All right. I don't know why I'm even like nodding my head at this point since my camera has turned off. It's not even trying to reconnect. It is turned off completely.
You're just a swirl.
Yeah, I'm a swirl. Oh yeah, I forgot I can just do this. Hold on. Let's go ahead and ruin the thing for a second. Oh. I tried to turn it off and back on. It didn't turn back on though. Oh, camera, what's happened to you? Yes, Flashback Arcade is recording tomorrow. But anyway, yeah. So Mong Network and Middle of Nowhere Gaming Plays is where you can find all that good stuff. Now, will PlayStation Plus You and Me be on Middle of Nowhere Gaming Plays or Mong Network or both?
It'll probably be on both.
Okay. Our Twitch channel, which is where we are right now, where you can come and see Jordan and Adam's beautiful faces and a freeze frame of my face. Is Mong Plays, and we do the podcast live every week, the Mong Podcast, and you should definitely come and join us so we can have a lively chat and have conversations with peoples about things, mainly video games. You can find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. Search for Middle of Nowhere Gaming or Mong, whichever you type in first, which is probably Mong, and then if you can't find us, look for Middle of Nowhere Gaming. Check out our website, which is middleofnowheregaming.com. That's where our editorials, news, reviews, all the stuff goes up. You'll see it all there. And also, if you want to be awesome and help us keep the lights on, and that mainly means keep the website up and going, you can find us on Patreon, Middle of Nowhere Gaming. If you want to just donate I don't know what our tiers are like, but I'm sure there's a dollar tier. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you just want to donate $1, we only need like 25 a... How often do we need that?
How often do we need what?
Like, how often do we have to pay for the website? A yearly, right?
It's yearly, yeah.
Yeah.
But we also support like the giveaways and stuff like that. So we're doing a giveaway this week of the PlayStation Plus. Like the money that we get goes back into that. So
Yep.
Goes back out to you.
Oh my god, my camera's dead and now there's a picture of my freaking thing on there. For those of you who don't know, that's Honey Hug from the video game Battle Block Theater. So yeah, that's him. Anyway, can't start video. Try closing on the. No, Skype. I'm not doing that. There you go. I'm a red exclamation point for the last like minute of this. Anyway, yeah. So if you want to support us, go find us on Patreon. That's you give us money so we can give you games and other things and do more stuff. So yeah, we appreciate it. And finally, last but not least, I am Furious Milk on Twitter. If you want to follow me and hear about me trying to get beta codes from Blizzard, because that happened earlier today. I asked nicely and no one gave me one. You can find Jordan at
JL_Fleur.
And you can find Adam at
Fanboy_Adam.
There we go. I went backwards in order, but it doesn't matter because if you need to see our names, just come watch the video because they're there under our faces. My camera has completely given up on life at this point. I don't even have a box anymore in Skype. I'm blue. So yes, it's been fun, people. Gentlemen with us in the chat, as well as anyone who's watching this after the fact or listening to it. We love you. Have a good one, and Mong.
Mong.
Firewatch.
Firewatch, yes, I'm gonna go play some Firewatch. Bye.